Good afternoon, Year 8. We'll start our lesson, but there's a little view of the sea before we start. So we'll just get back to the work again. There's nothing else for it. So, yesterday then, you were looking at this little text here, and I'm just going to make this smaller now so that we can look at it together. I think we're about there. Yes, good. So, we were looking at a number of things. If you remember, we started off with the grammar point. Can you remember all 6 parts of the grammar point, the possessive adjectives? Well, it was mi, tu, su, nuestro, vuestro, su. And the plural was mis, tus, sus, nuestros, vuestros, sus. And this is what you wrote down the last day. Let's say them one more time. Mi, mis, tu, tus, su, sus, nuestro, nuestros, vuestro, vuestros, su, sus. So I said for you to learn those by heart. Can you write 1 to 5 in your margin, girls? Okay, and I want you now to write out the following short phrases. Can you write number 1, the Spanish for my brother? Number 2, his sisters. Number 3, our sister. Number 5, my ruler. And finally, number 5, your rulers. Good, and these should be your answers then, girls, okay? So, I'm sorry, the last here is the wrong way around, but you would have written, my brother is mi hermano. His sisters, sus hermanas. Our sister, nuestra hermana. Mi regla, my ruler. It's the way around, isn't it? And then your rulers, tus reglas. Tus reglas. Good. So today then, girls, we're just going to mark the work from yesterday. So the first one was you had to write out a conversation similar to this for these two here. And I said to you before you begin your homework, you had to make sure you checked these phrases here in this box. Okay, so let's start. ¿Tienes hermanos? Sí, tengo una hermana y un hermano. ¿Cómo se llaman tus hermanos? What are your brothers and sisters called? Mis hermanos se llaman Luisa y Mateo. And then you might need to split them up, isn't that right? You will say, ¿Cuántos años tiene Luisa? Luisa tiene, what age is she, girls? 11 años, is right. ¿Cuántos años tiene Mateo? Mateo tiene 9 años. And then this one here. ¿Tienes hermanos? Sí, tengo 3 hermanas. ¿Cómo se llaman? So that's this one here, isn't it, girls? ¿Cómo se llaman tus hermanas? What are your sisters called? Mis hermanas se llaman. My sisters are called Maribel, Patricia y Virginia. ¿Cuántos años tienen Maribel y Patricia? Maribel tiene, ¿cuántos años tiene Maribel? Maribel tiene 9 años. Patricia tiene 12 años. Virginia tiene 20 años. If you just want to say how old are they, it would be ¿cuántos años tienen? Okay, for you remember, a couple of days ago in the verb tener, girls. Tienen was the they part of that verb. Now, girls, I'm going to ask you to write out the facts that I call out in Spanish now, okay? You can write them in bullet points. You do not need to write out full sentences, okay? And it relates to a number of the topics that we have done so far in our book, okay? So I'll just put this on sort of a freeze on that title for the minute while we do this, okay? So, hola, me llamo Jaime y tengo 14 años. Vivo en Madrid, en el centro. Vivo con mi mamá y mis dos hermanos. Mis hermanos se llaman Pedro y Jaime. Pedro tiene 17 años y Jaime tiene 21 años. Soy una persona simpática. Okay, I'll repeat that again and see how many facts you can write down. Hola, me llamo Jaime, tengo 14 años, vivo en Madrid, vivo en el centro, vivo con mi mamá y mis dos hermanos. Mis hermanos se llaman Pedro y Jaime. Pedro tiene 17 años y Jaime tiene 21 años. En mi opinión, soy una persona simpática. So girls, if you get a summary exercise where you have to summarize what you have just heard, I think it's a good idea while you do it just to write out small facts like this. You don't need to write out entire paragraphs, but you just write the main facts. So these were the facts that you would have written. Obviously, hola, I just wrote that down because it started and I thought, well, you know what, I'll write it down. So me llamo Jaime, I didn't write down se llama Jaime, just wrote Jaime. 14 years old, 14 años, Madrid, Centro de Madrid, the center of Madrid. He lives with his mum, isn't that right? And two brothers, Pedro y Jaime. 17, that's Pedro, and Jaime was 21. And he finally said that he is a nice person. Soy una persona simpática. Now, wait a wee minute. So, this guy here called, what's his name again? Jaime. Okay, this is jiggling about again. It doesn't want to it doesn't want to follow the rules. Jaime has a brother called Jaime. So Mr. Leonard made a bit of a mistake with that one, didn't he? But another thing I noticed, grammatically speaking, is soy una persona simpática. Is that right? It actually is right, girls. So there are a number of words in Spanish that are feminine, but they express both the masculine and the feminine. What I mean by that is, I am a person. Now, a person, whether they be male or female, in Spanish will always be una persona. Okay? So that's why Jaime says, soy una persona simpática. That is correct. Likewise, girls, if a man is in an accident, he can be una víctima. Una víctima. Okay? And a víctima is a victim, and it's feminine. Okay? So, just something to watch out for. Your homework continued, girls, with this exercise here. And your answers were as follows. Vivo en Salamanca. Number 3, tengo dos hermanos. Number 4, mis hermanos se llaman Manolito. Y, for number 5, Enrique. Manolito tiene 16, and number 6 is años. Y Enrique tiene 14 años. Okay? Muy bien. So, we look just at the back of your book now, girls, okay? So if you can go to the red section at the back in the Te Toca a Ti section, okay? Can you remember these numbers? Well, this first one, that's right, 29. And the second one, that's right, 34. Muy bien. And this one, 48. Muy bien. Now, as we go on here, girls, the others are more complicated. They're up the decades that we have not covered yet. So we're going to go back now in our book to page 44. And I want you to take this subtitle down, girls, in English in your classwork book. Okay, this is page 44. Sorry, this is hard to focus. So counting up to 100 and talking about your family. Okay. So, chicas, ¿cómo se dice este número? That's right, se dice 10. Muy bien. ¿Y este número? What was that one? I'm going to make a mistake with it, and I want you to tell me the right way to do this. Okay, is that the word for 10, by the way? It is, isn't it? What's that? The word for and? Good. And that the word for 7. Is that spelled right? It is. Siete is spelled right. Okay? It has to be Siete. The problem is it shouldn't be 3 separate words. That's absolutely wrong. So we're going to take that out. A lot of girls make a mistake with that. That's wrong. So what do? We write it like this. 17. Remember your numbers between 10 and 30 are slightly different to the ones that you find later in numbers, okay? They're not separated like this in the teens, okay? And they're not separated like that in the 20s either. So you don't get 22. The reason you do that by mistake is very simple. You have learned in French that that's what you do in the 20s. And that's why you make that mistake. And that's why I made that mistake years ago too. So remember, that is the way you spelled 17. 17. How therefore will you spell 18? That's right. 18. Very good. What is this number here? That's right. Let's write it together. Just as a wee bit of exercise. And that number's all together, isn't it? There's no E. The and is expressed in that letter I there, and in this one here. Okay. Let's do 2 more together. That one there, what's that? Yes, you had it a moment ago. Very good. 29, we had it on that page at the back of the book. Very good. Again, it's expressed in that. Now, I'm going to go back slightly. How do you write that one? That's right. Very good. You added the accent on that. Very good. Why did we add the accent? Well, the word to, did it have an accent on it? No, it didn't. If it was the word to, wherever it is, to's disappeared. There's 2. Does not have an accent on it. But 22 does have an accent on it. Why is that? Well, the second last syllable of that word is T. And as you know in Spanish, it's the second last syllable that gets the humph. Remember, the glorious language that you're learning is Espanol. Not a good example, but the country from which Espanol is from is called España. Good. España. And if you can think of the word España, Spain, that's the natural accent in Spanish. Second last syllable. Is that the second last syllable? Veintidós? No. So we wanted to keep the dos sound, so we went veintidós. Okay, veintidós. Done. So let's look at the rest of these decades. Say these with me, girls. 30. 30. Can you find that in the blue box beside it? That's right. Which one is it? There. Very good. Can you write that down beside the number 30 now? 30. Good. Next one. 40. 40. Can you find it? There you go. Very good. 50. 50. Okay, good. 60. 60. Number 70. 70. 70. Number 80. 80. 80. Number 90. 90. 90. And 100. 100. 100. Now let's just say these numbers several times over. 30, 40, 50. 30, 40, 50. 60, 70. 60, 70. 80, 90, 100. 80, 90, 100. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good. Now let's look at these numbers here, girls. Can I ask you to copy I through to O now in your book? And I would like you to write out the numbers there from the blue box that correspond. For example, 36 would be, that's right, 36. 36. Now can you write out the others from the blue box? 48, 52, 64, 77, 85 and 91. Away you go. Just pause your video now. Okay, so your answers then, girls, now that you've unpaused or you've pressed play again, are 36, 48, 52, 64, 77, 85, 91. Okay, now tonight what I would like you to do is to write out a further 7 numbers. You've just written 7, but you have to make up the numbers yourselves between 1 and 100, okay? 1 and 100, but not the ones you've included here. And then you have to write out what that number would be. Now, before you do that, remember our little rule. A moment ago, we wrote out some words, and we said that 25 was 25. And we said that 18 was 18. So we said that numbers between 1 and 30 are all joined together. Okay? But after 30, so these new decades, 30, 40, 50, 60, you do have the word for and. And they are separate words. So you should have 3 words. You should have the decade, the word and a digit, a unit. Okay, so, and you know how to spell those from 1 to 10. Let's say our numbers from 1 to 10 one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So if you can now write 7 further words for homework. Okay, girls. And that should do you for tonight. I'm going to do a little bit more with you tomorrow then on family members and a little bit more number practice. One other thing I'd ask you to do tonight, girls, is learn the spellings of your decades, so that I can check that then tomorrow, and we'll do a bit of further work with that. Gracias, señoritas. Adiós.